What's up guys, it's Nofsky with Academia Audio, and today I'm going to show you how I made this. Alrighty guys, well this is a mid-tempo song I threw together. It's more modern, what I pictured a 2022 mid-tempo would be like, just because it has a little more heavy style than like maybe Dr. Fresh or Drezzo or something like that. That's a little smoother. This is more aggressive. I'm not going to cover the whole song. I'm just going to mainly work on the drop. I have a lot of other things going on in the song, but really the drop is what makes it the genre of mid-tempo, being at 105 BPM and having the classic 4 on the floor kick drum and the style of basses. So let's dive into that. So the bass bus. I have a few things going on here. I have 2 subs, and then I have all these basses. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these off, and let's focus on the subs. The reason I have 2 subs is I have one with a kind of a longer release, and then I have one that's more plucky, hence the name plucked sub, long sub. For this one, I'm using a preset from WA Productions. This is it, and I have some R bass mono on there, and then an EQ, just tucking it in that pocket, and this is what that sounds like. And then I have this long sub, and this is a sub from our preset pack Exhale. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. We have a lot of really awesome sounds. So, and this is just R bass and the same EQ on that as well. I wanted a consistent sub throughout. Really the difference between these two is more of the timing. Next, I have the bass bus. And I don't typically work in audio, but I found that when you render things out to audio, it gives you a little bit more control to do some really unique things. And just kind of resampling and that whole process really kind of make a sound really pop. And so I have this sound going, and all these sounds that I have in here, they came from me resampling a Serum preset. So this is this sound. And as you notice, it sounds really thin, and the reason that is I cut out all the sub frequencies from it so I could utilize the sub to carry that for me. Next, I have this reverse bass, and this one's also from our Serum preset pack. And then I have some fills and glitches. So these are really handy dandy. They just kind of fill out the drop. I can play it without it, and you'll see what I mean. So this is without all the fills. So and then this is with the fills. So it just fills up that empty space. You could almost count this as effects to go in the effects section, but because I wanted the drop to kind of be a little more glued together, I threw them in the bass bus so I could process them all together on the bass bus. So they kind of have a similar amount of distortion and saturation and things like that. Next, I have more glitches, and these sound like. And then next, I have this pluck bass. That is from this preset right here, and I just sampled it out to have a little more control over it when I processed it. And then next I have this top bass, and this is the same preset that I'm using for the plucked sub, analog friendly, and I just put an EQ and processed it a little differently just to kind of get that top pluck. And these are all the basses together. And that pretty much covers the bass bus. As far as processing, minus the subs, I just have an EQ cutting out those sub frequencies at 110. And then I have an auto filter so I can do some automation. And then I have the Ableton stock amp just going on the bass setting. I feel it makes a huge difference. Just kind of glues those sounds together, distorts some a little bit more. And that's pretty much it for the bass bus. Let's move along. Next I have the drum bus. And drums are key for this genre, in my opinion. I have a kick kind of going. It's our mid-temp kick. Minimal processing on that kick, and then I have the same kick, but I just have it a little down in volume when the build-up is happening. I have a little bit of exhaust or white noise on every other kick. Then I have some snares, this snare, layered with this snare, and then on every other snare hit, I have this snare, just to kind of give it back and forth motion. So, and then I just have them panned a little bit and then off-grid from one another with a pretty drastic swing on it. Then I bring in a hi-hat. And something I've noticed with the mid-temp genre is a lot of hi-hats. They're typically really tight and faster like that. So then I have a crash, shaker loop, and then a ride. And that is pretty much it for the drop. And this is the drums all together. Next I have the effects bus. And besides the vocals, I have a siren that comes in halfway through. And it's just pumping with the side chain. And then I have a sweep. And I did chop it up that way. I've talked about this in other videos, but that's something I like to do with my sweeps is I'll chop them up and create a groove. It can be just as simple as this, as a groove like a hi-hat would do, or it could be something a little more complex, like whatever you want to do. It's just kind of fun instead of just having a normal sweep coming down. Next, I have some vocal chops. And then a tonal one shot. Just kind of put it here, then I put it here in reverse to just kind of whip it into that note. And then a breath chant going throughout the whole thing. And that is pretty much it. As far as effects go, I can play the whole thing. And just super simple, guys. The biggest thing about this drop is, I think, the basses and the glitches and the pattern. I'm utilizing a few different basses, and they're kind of doing a call and response together, and then that with just some simple drums, a few effects, and you got yourselves a awesome mid-tempo drop. That pretty much wraps up this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, or you want me to go over another part of this song, be sure to put that down below so I can do that for you guys. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And you guys have a blessed day. Peace.